Good morning. Hey guys. Pouring rain out there, so I'm just going to do a rant video. I was just going to carry on about Thai driver's licenses, or driver's licenses in general, how to get one, how they work, all that sort of thing. To start this off, right, we need to do a history lesson, okay? Last century, last millennium, somebody went and invented the car, right? And the motorbike and, trucks and all this sort of thing, right? There was a small period of mayhem, right, until somebody invented the license for the truck, car, motorbike, right? So they invented the license, everyone had to show they could drive a car, etc., people knew who was driving that car, if you ran into each other or whatever, right? So the car license was invented, right? Fast forward maybe 50 years from that point, people started doing their motoring in other countries, right? You lived in this country, but you went to that country and you wanted to drive a car, or you wanted to take a car from this country to that country, etc. Again, I think probably for a short period of time, mayhem, right? People were taking cars over, no one knew if they had a license, what's this car, I've never seen it before, whatever, right? So, at that point in time, all the countries of the world had a big meeting, right? There's been a couple of them, but the main one, I think 1949, the International Geneva Convention of Motoring, or some great big long title, right? Basically, all the countries in the world got together and agreed on several things, common signage, stop signs all look the same all over the world. Common standards for cars, they all had to have blinkers, they all had to have a handbrake, whatever, right? And they all agreed in principle to accept each other's licenses, right? So if you go from country A to country B, your license is valid because your country signed the big treaty agreement and the other country signed the big treaty agreement. And pretty much every country in the world signed it, right? Except for, some weird and wonderful country that ends in Stan that used to be part of Russia or something, But you can pretty much, so if you live in a Western country or Europe or most countries in the world, all signed this agreement and agreed to honour each other's licenses, right? Now, you can see the mayhem this may cause, right? Because I can go to another country with my license in my pocket, and most of the time back then they were bits of paper, right? So I could go to Upper Mongolia and hop on a motorbike and the police pull me over and say, where's your license? And I pull out this piece of paper written in English. It could be my license, it could be my gym membership card, right? They don't have a clue. So as part of the big international treaties that all the countries signed, they agreed on a standard license format, right? Which is, right, you basically go there and you drive on your home license from your home country for a set period of time, etc., all those covenants that come with it, right? But when you pull your license out, the police, the insurance company, nobody's got a clue what that license means, right? It's in a different language, it's in a different format. So they agreed on what's called an international driving permit, right? Now, I want everyone to repeat after me. There is no such thing as an international driving license, right? It does not exist, right? What it is an international driving permit that is basically your home license in a common format that everyone in the world agreed on. It's a grey, I'll put a picture of one up. It's a grey fold brochure thing. It has, this is an international driving permit. Fred Smith has a license in Australia. If there's a tick in box A, he can drive a car. If there's a tick in box B, he can drive a motorbike, etc. So, a policeman in Upper Mongolia, who's familiar with the international driving permit, can have a quick glance at it. He doesn't even have to understand the language. Ah, good, right. Tick there, he has a license. I understand that license that he just showed me. Right. It's not a license. I can't stress this enough, right? When you go to another country, you drive on your home country license, you take the international driving permit along with you as a translation document and to put the details of your license into a standard international format, right? If you leave your home license at home and just take the international permit with you, you are unlicensed. You don't have a license in your pocket. You have a permit that really just shows the details of your actual license, right? An international driving permit accompanies your home license, right? So hopefully that puts everything in context about coming to Thailand and getting a license, right? We had to have that history lesson. Otherwise, yeah, then the rest of it makes sense, okay? So you're coming to Thailand for a 1-month holiday, right? You can hop off the plane with your UK, US, Australian, New Zealand, Canadian, Bolivian license in your pocket, right? Because your country signed the agreement, Thailand signed the agreement, you have a valid license in your pocket, right? And the agreement says if your license is in English, you need no further translation, etc., right? Most of the countries, they have their own little covenants on what they want, right? Pretty much everyone agreed that if the license is written in English, and I think French, that's a standard format. Everyone likes that. No problems, right? The problem occurs if you're, your license is in Mandarin and you're going to Spanish Ecuador or somewhere, there's no common language there, right? So, yeah, in that case, that's when the international driving permit comes into play and can understand each other, okay? So, yeah, getting back to Thailand, right? You come here for a month, you hop off the plane, you can drive on your home country license, right? It's written in the Thai legislation, if your country and Thailand both signed the agreement, you can drive in Thailand on your home license. Section 42 of the Motor Traffic Act, whatever, right? I'll try and stick it up on the screen. Right, now where this all falls down over the years is, right, somehow this perception that an international driving permit is a license. So everyone hops off the plane with their international driving permit, calling it, oh yeah, I got my international driving license, no problem. Yeah, as you can see, great confusion. And it's not helped, right, because you get pulled up down the road with just your international driving permit. A lot of police will just take that on face value. All right? Although you are illegal, you should have a license from your home country for presentation. So it doesn't help that they take that on face value. Yeah, it looks like you've got a license. All right, on your bike, away you go. Anyway, yeah. If people can realise that, you'd be a whole lot better off, yeah. I lived in Thailand for about 2 years with just my Australian licence. Got pulled up numerous times at checkpoints and all they ever presented was my Australian licence, right? And the guy said, yep, good, you're good to go. Yep, you have an official licence, yep. No problem. You'll get some will want to see an IDP, right? Technically it's not in the law that you have to show in Thailand, but you'll get some will want to see it. So often it's not a bad idea to have that in your pocket as well. And sometimes an insurance company may require it, right? But at the end of the day, you can present your UK, US, Canadian, Bolivian license and drive legally in Thailand. All right. So that takes us on to, and basically the legislation in Thailand says after 90 days, you need to get a Thai license, right? Well, what it actually says is once you get a long stay visa, right, which by default is longer than 90 days, you need to get a Thai license. So, but they don't, unless they know your immigration records, if you get pulled up at the side of the road, they don't know that you've been here 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Okay. But take it that eventually you need to get a Thai license or you're illegal. Again, to get a Thai license in Thailand, you go to the Department of Land Transport, DLT, and you present your home country license, right? Here is my valid license. My country signed the agreement. Thailand signed the agreement. Here I have a valid license. They'll say, thank you, sir, for your valid license. Paperwork, take your photo. Here is a valid Thai license because you presented a valid license from your home country. Yeah, it's just a paperwork exercise. Or I believe some will make you watch a video, a safety video or something. But it's an exercise in paperwork, right? So have a motorbike license in your home country, present a motorbike license to the DLT, you get a Thai motorbike license. Your initial license is a 1-year temporary license. Not sure why, it's like a provisional license back in Australia. 2 years, 2 years, used to be 1. An initial 2-year license. You see that out, next renewal you get a 5-year license. So, yeah, to get the actual license, as I said, you present your original license from home. You usually need something to say you live here, a residence certificate from immigration, which is just something you pop in and pay money and get. You need a medical, which is quite hilarious. You stand on this side of the counter in the doctor's office, pay 200 baht, and they give you stamp a bit of paper and give it to you. Yes, you don't even actually see a doctor. You see the receptionist at the front desk. But that aside, that's one of the things you need. I think that's pretty much it. Varies from DLT to DLT. They might have their own little take on it. You may even come across one that wants to see a international driving permit. You know, the translation document, etc. And a lot of the time, if you walk in with a license in Arabic or something and present that, yes, they're going to want to see an IDP. Because A, it translates your license, and B, puts it in a format they can understand. Okay, here's a license. I can't read it. It's in Arabic. Yeah. Oh, here's the accompanying IDP. Okay, right. This guy can drive a truck and a car. He has a valid license from Uzbekistan or something. You know, some United Arab Emirates or something, right? So in that case, yeah, you would need a IDP. But if your license is in English, it's sort of the standard that you shouldn't require an IDP. Yeah. That's to get your actual license. If you don't have a license, you know, a lot of guys come here from Canada, UK, wherever they come from. They might have a car license, but they want to get a bike license, right? You know, everyone has little scooters to run around on here. So that involves getting a test, okay? Yeah, ride around witches' hats, do this test on the computer, multiple choice answers, etc. Well, I suppose if you pay enough money to the right agent, you can probably get around that and, you know, end up with a license illegally. That still goes on, I think. But in the main, you have to go and do the test, etc., etc. Yeah, I think that takes, 2 days out of your life to get that. So you turn up one day and you might get there at 10 o'clock in the morning and you've got to do your test, and you queue up with 30 or 40 other people and you do your tests, all of that sort of thing. Oh, what I forgot to mention, if you're just coming with your home country license, converting to a Thai or getting a Thai license, they do make you do a reflex test, which is like an eyesighty thing. Eyesight, they have a red light, a green light, a yellow light on the wall, and a pedal. So you've got to sit there, and when the red light comes on, you've got to press the pedal to show you have reflexes. You reflexes and sight, and read the chart or whatever. Yeah, sorry, should have mentioned that prior. I hope that covers everything. Yeah. Main thing is no such thing as an international driver's license. All the countries in the world have agreed to accept each other's licenses. When you come to Thailand, or when you go to pretty much any country in the world, you present your home license, you drive on your home license for a limited period of time. And in some instances, you are required to produce the IDP translation and common format for your license. Yes, it's one of those great myths that just never lays down and never goes to sleep, that there is such a thing as an international driver's license, and it says it on it. If you open the IDP up, somewhere on there it says, big bold letters, this is not a license. This is a translation of your license. So your license must accompany this document. It says it in black and white, but you cannot convince some people of it. And people get in trouble. I come over here with their international driver's permit, and they get pulled up by the police, and the police say, "Where's your license?" And then they rant and rave that they got pulled up. They just got fined for not having a license, and I had a fully valid international driver's license. No, you didn't. You had a permit. That's a translation of your... Anyway, I'll stop right there. I don't know as much else I can cover about licenses. Once you have your license, you renew it every 5 years. I think the renewal, you need another medical certificate, proof of where you live, something like that. Again, renew. Another thing is people that come here on holidays without a motorbike license and hire motorbikes, it's ridiculous, and you hear stories all the time. People come here, they come on their 1 month holiday, they don't have a bike license, they hire a bike, and the people will rent you the bike. They don't care less if you've got a license or not, right? They will just rent it to you, Some reputable ones may want to see a license, etc. But most of them will just rent you a bike no matter what, right? So you are riding away from the shop 100% illegal. You're not covered by any insurance. You're not covered by any... you voided your travel insurance because you are unlicensed, right? Travel insurance will cover a licensed driver on a registered vehicle, not breaking the law, etc. You're covered, right? Travel insurance doesn't cover you to hop on a motorbike with no license. And there's stories. Every couple of months there's a story makes the news in Thailand where some, 20-year-old backpackers ended up in hospital with, 4 broken legs and whatever. And no money to pay for it. Their travel insurance has been voided because they hopped on a bike with no license. And the standard thing is they start a GoFundMe page. GoFundMe. I went to Thailand with no license, hired a motorbike, smashed it, etc. Saying that, built into the registration of every vehicle in Thailand is third-party insurance, right? It's only very, very minimal. That's why I don't sort of mention it. It's the same in Australia, UK, whatever. There's an insurance aspect built into your car registration. When you go and pay your car registration tax, in Australia it's called the CTP, Green Slip Insurance, right? And that covers, you know, passenger in your car, you have an accident, passenger loses a finger, they make a claim on the CTP insurance, right? It pays for anyone injured by that car in an accident. Thai vehicles do have that built in, cars and motorbikes and things. Here it's called the Pour Bore insurance. And it's, you go and register your motorbike each year. Part of what you pay is paying that insurance, right? It covers you per accident, I think it's about 30,000 baht, about $1,000, okay? So you have an accident, it'll pay for a couple of nights in hospital, or it'll pay to get your leg set, or it'll pay for whatever, you know, fix your broken arm, that sort of thing. No insurance for the damage to the vehicle, if you hired that vehicle. Yeah, this is what happens. People hire these bikes. Not only have they smashed themselves up and there's no insurance, they smashed the bike up, you know, as well, and it's not insured. You know, so they got to pay $1,000 to fix the bike up, $10,000 to fix themselves up. Yes, it's message there, I suppose, is don't come here and rent a motorbike without a license. Yeah, but then the insurance that's built into your motorbike registration or tax, it's a little bit, in Australia that wouldn't cover the driver, right? If I have a car in Australia and I pay my green slip insurance, right, and I go sailing down the road with a car full of people and we have an accident, the green slip insurance covers everyone else in the car except the driver, right? Some of them offer it as an extra to cover the driver. In Thailand it covers the driver as well, which is a bit odd, which is a good thing, yeah. So you can have a little accident, go off to hospital, and you've got that 30,000 baht to spend. Yeah. Anyway, that's a 20-minute rant. I'd better leave it there. As usual, any questions, comments, leave them in the comments. Can answer anything straight away. Yeah, hopefully that clears up the process of getting a license, what's involved, etc. All right. Thanks, guys.